Hello everyone and welcome to my TMC race highlights. We're at Russia today. This was last week's race. Spain is tomorrow, so I'll try and get that out ASAP, most probably midweek sometime. But I'm going to focus on Russia now. Got P5 in qualifying, not the best, but again, with hardly any practice, I'll take a top 5 in qualifying. I do actually have a new teammate in Dobby who did actually qualify third, so congrats to him. Debut qualifying third, not too bad, but it's 5 red lights. We're going to get underway here. We actually get off to a pretty bad start. My starts recently haven't actually been that great, but as you can see, my teammate, for whatever reason, I think he's running quite high wings here, and we are actually going to overtake him down into turn 1. Obviously leave him enough space, and you can see that Beast and actually Hellboy collect each other at turn 1. Hellboy does take the lead, but has to give places back, so that's us now up into third. We've got Julian there in second. We're actually going to try and hang it round his outside, and a bit of contact forces us wide a little bit, but we do have to give the place back momentarily. And as you can see, it's just the cars everywhere, and Julian goes deep. We get the move done, and that's now us up into second, and our teammate is now fighting with Julian for third place. So my teammate, he obviously making his debut. He is obviously doing very well at the minute, but in terms of trying to catch Beast at this point, it was never gonna happen. More or less every race has happened. Beast gets off to a good start, Drama's behind, and by the time I got past everyone, he's already might say 1.5 seconds up the road. So at this point I thought maybe I could maybe get a 3/10 on him, keep within DRS, but against Beast, it's just not going to happen. And there's obviously little practice from myself. I'm just not expecting myself to keep with Beast. He's just on another level at the minute. But yeah, in terms of the start of the race, it was quite boring actually. I think now after lap 1, I think we're actually going to now skip to my pit stop, because there was just nothing going on in front or behind. So I was in no man's land. And yeah, actually lap 12, we are actually going to make a pit stop. Other cars behind have pitted, so that's why I'm pitting now to prevent the undercut on other people. But I do believe that Julian was still behind me, and I think he is actually in a bit of traffic, so we should come out ahead of Julian and Hellboy, because Hellboy wasn't too far behind Julian. So yeah, we're going to come in for our one and only pit stop, put a set of super softs on, and yeah, I guess now we just go to the end and see if I can keep second place, because I know I'm not getting first at this point. I knew Beast was gone from the moment everyone behind started battling. You give that guy a second and he'll take 10 in the next 3-4 laps. So I knew catching him was impossible at this point, so I knew if I could maybe keep second, it'd be a good result, considering I've had little time to practice, or just haven't really been on the game as much as I should. But yeah, I'm actually now going to skip towards I do believe the end of the race, or I think next lap, where I overtake Creaky. And yeah, as you can see, next lap 14, Creaky is on the soft, so he hasn't got to stop again. So this is actually 4 positions. So well, as you see, he goes wide, and going for an overtake here is very, you've got to be good to do it as such. And I leave him all the space he needs. I didn't want to close the door on him and force him, to go wide or hit me. But we get the move done, and from there on, we're at the end, 3 laps before the end of the race now. Nothing happened. Hellboy got past Julian, and he was on another level of pace, man. He was much quicker than me around here. He's actually going to go for a move around my outside. I do defend quite well from him, and he's still there. So I have to give him the space. As you can see by the proximity error, we're still side by side at this point. So I'm having to defend pretty hard from Hellboy, and all this battling that me and Hellboy are doing, it's only going to make Julian come even closer to us. So yeah, going on to the next lap now. Hellboy now, I think we're actually going to stay on board for the last 2 laps, I do believe, because it's mad what happened. So actually our fuel as well is quite low, so we have to sort of save fuel as well as defend from Hellboy and maybe Julian in the next lap or so. So again, not an ideal situation for myself. I seem to underfuel the car quite a lot, and I am sort of in these situations more times than I want to be. But yeah, I mean, we defend well from Hellboy there, and this was the only chance I could run lean. If I run lean down the start finish straight, I would just get swamped. So yeah, we're in lean now, saving fuel. But I was in the party with Hellboy, and even he was saying that he was pushing me along because I just had no fuel to go rich and maybe try and get away from Hellboy. But I know that at some point I do actually start lagging. I think it is around this part. Hellboy did say to me that I was lagging a little bit. So yeah, I mean at this point, when you start lagging in a league race, you sort of become a hazard on track, not just to yourself but to people around you. So I mean, as you see, Hellboy's starting to jump back a little bit, and when he gets side by side with us, he does actually jump forward, and that's not him, that's us, as you can see there. Hellboy does go for the move, does push me wide, but it's hard but fair. I can't really say much about it, and that is now put Julian on the back of us. And at this point, Hellboy's actually telling me to hold Julian up because Hellboy had, I think, at least 9 seconds worth of pens, whereas I only had 3. So I knew I didn't have to essentially finish ahead of Hellboy because of penalties. So that was always on my mind. I was still on for second, so my main thing here is to keep Julian behind me. But yeah, last lap now, DRS. Julian goes for the inside. I sort of make him take a tighter line into turn 1. I don't want to give him all the space in the world. Side by side through turn 1. I wanted to keep it on track, so if it looked like I appeared to just steer into Julian, it was because I wanted to purely keep that my front right wheel on the track to prevent me from getting any other warnings. But still side by side with Julian, we do push him, into a tight line, and we do keep third, well, technically second place, but on track third place. So we've still got to save fuel at this point as well. My fuel light's flashing red, so I can't exactly push yet. I mean, I know it says plus 0.09 of fuel, but I still can't push as much as I want to here. So yeah, I mean, Hellboy's also there. I mean, look how much Hellboy's got away from me. That's how much I was holding them up. So it just proves how little practice I've done on this game, and I am sort of disappointed in my recent performances here. But moving on from this is actually Julian now, sort of last lap, round the outside. I defend really well from him here. He goes wide a little bit. I still give him space. I'm not just going to shut the door completely. Now I'm around the outside of him, so get on the curb a little bit, back end kicks out, but we managed to keep it. And at this point, I thought, oh, okay, well I've got it now. But it just proves that one lapse in concentration, and Julian sends it up my inside. I again give him space. Sort of forces me wide, and he does actually force me wide here. So he does indeed get second place. I do finish third, and Hellboy fourth. I was quite disappointed with that. I let Julian know how I felt, and we talked about it after and whatnot. But it's hard but fair racing, and as you can see, those are the results. Beast House wins again, which is no surprise. Julian gets impressive second, and I finish third. Hellboy, unlucky with his time penalties, finishes fourth. So yeah, in terms of the race, it got exciting towards the end. But yeah, next race is Spain. That's tomorrow, so I'll try and get it out later this week or maybe midweek. I hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.